Hello fans of the modular shed. So the modular shed looks like that now, and today I just for the first time thought, yeah, this is really working. Let me show you around. So starting around this side with the YouTube play button window. Next to that, or to the right of that, is the door, which is shut at the moment. To the right of that is a narrow opening which will be filled with feather edge paneling. Another opening inside the L-shaped sort of inner corner. Moving around here, we come to the rear side, which is unilluminated, so let's get out of the sun. Oh, that's not very good, is it? I'll have to move back so that we can see it. There it is, and I don't know whether you can see that the roof has two different angles. It does. On the left is, oh, what was that one? 20 degrees, and on the right, where the shiplap is, that's 15 degrees. But it looks fine to me. So let's head inside, minding all these obstacles as we go in. I'll go into module 3 just for the moment. It's just a bit of a step up. So I'm in module 3. Oh, I stepped beyond the do not step line and the board started to flip up. Whatever. Module 2 here with my roll of insulation, and turning around to module 1 where most of the junk is, my shelf, my camera mount, and the window. So what have I been doing today? Well, I put this 2x2, this undersized 2x2 upright. It's on the back of a rough sawn 1x4. They're screwed together so they're very rigid, and I've put a plate from the 2x2 onto this crossbeam, which is a 4x2, because I wanted to do pretty much the same as I did with the window frame. That's all made out of 2x2 with plates on there. Now those plates might move because if you notice here in the corners of the window, because I've got a circular piece of glass, there's a perfect place for an L bracket there, so I could take this one off in order to put something flat on there if that's going to happen. It probably isn't, but yeah, I could replace that with an L bracket. So now the door works in the same way as the window. It's plated down there. I've had to take a little notch out of the floorboard, and I did it on the wrong side because these floorboards have the reading down and this sort of pattern up, and I did that one on the wrong side, so now that board is forever upside down. Oh well, never mind. And also today I fitted these. They're 1x4 timbers, and they're attached to the post. This is the post, sorry about the high contrast lighting, with an L bracket, and it's a really tough solid L bracket. So this piece of 1x4 is just as solid as the post, and the posts are very solid. Maybe you can see it better down here. There's the L bracket. It holds the 1x4 here to the post, which is here. Now that means that I can put cladding on the outside. Let me explain. So in the last episode I explained that cladding placed on the post itself, which is round the back here, would cross over. So I've put two new faces on, and they're held on with those L brackets, and that means I can put cladding half over this face and cladding half over this face. That solves the problem of the cladding meeting in an inside corner. And those two boards, well, I just had one of them shorter than the other. I can't quite remember why I thought I'd do that. And at the top, can you see how that works? One's longer than the other, but it presents those faces onto which the cladding can be attached. Yes, there is one thing that I must do before the next bout of rain. There's a big hole up here where my diverging roof sheets are probably converging again over that side because of the twist, as I explained last time that I'm putting in those sheets, but I do need to put the apex capping sheets on one of these 1x4 vertically mounted timbers so that rain will not get through that gap. Another innovation is the method I use to hold that vertical 1x4 down on the post, because there's very little post available because of those two nail plates. In the end, I put this vine eye, screwed it up into that vertical 1x4, have it hanging down, and then just push a screw through, so that cannot now push up because that screw stops it lifting up and the apex capping sheets flying away when there's a gust of wind. Just one side effect of these extended faces. Here the door pieces are 800 wide and the pieces that were here are cut to 400 wide. Well, now of course they're going to be 100 millimeters shorter, so I've got to cut all these pieces down to 300 wide so that they sit across that gap, and some of them are down there. So tomorrow I'll get the miter saw out and chop 100 off each of those so they fit the new gap. So probably the most complex remaining issue is this line between the top of this cladding and the underside of this roof. And it's complex because the angles are complex, because the roof tilts in two directions. It's coming down from the apex to that end wall, but it's also sloping up to the left. So I do have an idea for that. I'm not going to say what it is yet, but I think I have a solution in mind. But it's a method of making two angled faces meet. Got an idea for that. So here's a shot showing all three module floors simultaneously, and there's the internal corner of the L-shaped 3 module shed, and there's the outside. Well, I think this is a thing of beauty. What do you think? Goodbye.